Welcome to Soccer's in Session Quarterfinals Monday. John here, you there. The party line is open. And the plan for the next hour is this. First and foremost, we got to get you through what happened on Friday and to get you caught up with what is going to be happening today. Quarterfinals in the GHSA playoffs. Once again, Soccer's in Session live, presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente for all that is you. Kaiser Permanente has been a great sponsor for us here at SDH, the lead anchor for our coverage of the beautiful game. I was doing the math the other day, and Perry on Thursday was our 30th match day for the year. 30th match day. And it was 10 Friday matches of the week, 10 Tuesday night throwdowns, and then it was 3, 6, 8. It was 9 other locations, 8 during the regular season. North Gwinnett and Perry in the playoffs has brought us to an even 30. Match day 31 will get us to Jefferson tonight. Jason will have the call for you between Northgate and Jefferson. 6:30 is kick. We'll be on a little early to let you know what's going on around the state. Maddie Cruz with the 1s and 2s. She will be hosting. Jason will have the call. I'll be on the update desk for you for the evening, since we've got to figure out where we're going to be on Thursday for semifinals Thursday. And we will have all of that going on at Jefferson tonight. Looking forward to going to Jefferson. Caught up with A.D. Navis earlier this morning. We've been trying to find a way to get to Jefferson all season long, and now we now finally have a way. And so it is in the playoffs. Northgate traveling from Noonan to Jefferson. I imagine that they might be on their way now or in short order. And Northgate and Jefferson will be on the network tonight, and that will be at soccerdownhere.mixler.com. Right there, soccerdownhere.mixler.com. If you want to watch it if you want to listen to it on the web, if you want to listen to it on a mobile device, you can do that too. And what you do is you go to your app store and download the Mixler app. Let's see what it's doing here. Let me see if I can shine it away from everything. So there you go. That is the lead page for SDH. And what you get to do is when you're on SDH, you get to listen to all the matches that we've done archived right here, mixlr.com. You download that app. You do a search for Soccer Down Here. You follow, set your notifications appropriately. And when we have a live event like we did yesterday with Atlanta United 2 and Chicago Fire FC 2 in MLS Next Pro, you can listen to all of it there. Like I said, when the match is done, it's archived. How quickly, depending on the internet speed in our particular location. One time this year, I actually had to upload the matches from my car, from a hotspot, to get it done in a timely fashion. So soccerdownhere.mixler.com is the website. You can download the Mixler app. Then you can set your notifications for Soccer Down Here, and then we go live. You'll know when we're live. So 2 ways to watch it tonight. And 2 ways to listen to it tonight. I wish we were to the point to where we were watching it, but not quite yet. So that is how. And once again, the where and the why tonight. Northgate at Jefferson, a little before 6:30 is on air, and 6:30 will be the chance to catch up with Northgate and Jefferson tonight. Tomorrow, we will be at McIntosh. Another 6:30 start. Be on a little ahead of 6:30 for Dalton at McIntosh. McIntosh, one of the 3 teams in Georgia boys soccer, ranked top 5 nationally. And it is a chance to catch up with both of these blue bloods. We've had McIntosh and Dalton on our air before. It is now in a quarterfinal situation, low left in your bracket. Boys are tomorrow, girls are today. Once again, we'll go over all the action that happened on Friday to get you set up for what's happening today on the girls' side. And like I said, and what I've done is I sent out a note to a boatload of coaches. And I said, if you can make it in the noon hour, that'd be fantastic. And one of the coaches emailed me back and was like, I'd love to. I'm getting lunch for my players. If I can, I can. If I can get somebody to sit in, I'll get somebody to sit in. I had another coach try to figure out, and I had another coach say that during this particular time slot, they'd be traveling. And I said, well, tell you what, since you're traveling, if, and I'm paraphrasing here, basically, if that individual was not driving whatever van or whatever way of transport the team was getting from point A to point B, I said, well, tell you what, when we do this kind of a thing in the postgame show during the other football season at Georgia Public Broadcasting, it's done on a tablet, done on a phone. And, it's a way to break up the monotony of travel. Or if you're stuck in traffic, might be a way to alleviate that too, just to kind of put the boredom off to the side for a little bit. Traveling on a yellow hound from one end of the planet to the other sometimes can get a little tedious. So what I've done is I put out the siren call, and we have our first coach, Heather Richardson. Heather Richardson has dropped in, and she's going to break things down from her perspective. You're kind of busy. First off, thanks for doing this. I know that you are busier than you know what today, getting ready for your match.
Yes.
So what has game day been like for you getting ready for this one?
Well, actually, our game day is tomorrow. We moved it to Tuesday.
Excellent.
Yes, but my son plays baseball at Social Circle. So we are headed to Kings Ridge in about 15 minutes, because they play a doubleheader at 4.
Okay.
So I wanted to drop in just to say hi. But, yeah, we play tomorrow.
Okay, so good. So Social Circle has shifted to tomorrow.
Yes.
And so for those not following along in the bracket, Social Circle on the girls' side, Class A D1, upper left-hand corner for those filling things out in pen, you get to host East Lawrence. When you look at the third season that you've had the chance to get through, Coach, where it was a big win against Elbert County in round number 1, shootout with Whitfield Academy at round 2, you've done it all at home. You get this chance to go up against East Lawrence. What's the ride been like?
It has really been very exciting. The first round game, it went well. The second round game, anytime Whitfield Academy was who we actually played in the first round last year, and they are always a tough team. I think last year we beat them in the last 2 minutes of the game, and it was literally the same thing this year. It was 3-3 with 14 minutes left, and then we were able to get one in right at the very end. And that could have, gone either way, is how I felt about it. So it was such a strong team. So coming off that win, that was a big win for us.
Heather Richardson, the head coach of Social Circle on the girls' side, getting ready to keep an eye on family today, prepare for a matchup tomorrow, and tomorrow East Lawrence comes to visit Social Circle after the second round 7-goal thriller. If I had told you at the beginning of the season, before you kicked the ball and before you got into season 1, the non-region schedule, as I call it, if I had told you that you would be in this particular situation getting ready for a matchup against East Lawrence in the quarterfinals tomorrow, before the season even started, what would you have told me back then?
I would have said, I really hope so. I expect to be. However, I look back at the brackets in October, and I saw who we were matching up with in the second round. And that was our move in a mountain that we did. That was a big deal for us to be able to win that game. And I knew it in October that very possibly could be who we faced, a very strong team in the second round. So, yes, I'm excited that we're here, but I don't take it for granted. That's for sure.
For someone who hasn't had the chance to see you play this season, shine a light on your team a little bit and tell folks who they need to keep an eye on when you've got this matchup coming up tomorrow.
Coming up tomorrow, I have a strong senior group, especially with Peyton Brooks. She scored 4 goals in our game, in our last game against Whitfield Academy. She scored 4 goals in the state championship game when we beat Commerce. Just an amazing player to watch. She just does great things with the ball. And we have a solid midfield with Faith and Macy. And then our back line is strong again. Our 2 center backs are great, Claire and Cambry. And then a strong goalie. So it'll be an exciting game. I hope to move on to the next round for sure.
15-2-1. Go celebrate with your family. Go celebrate. Get ready. I know you're getting ready for the matchup against East Lawrence. Thanks for hopping on the party line, Coach. Go enjoy your lunch. Go enjoy the stuff today before the matchup with East Lawrence tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
There we go. Heather Richardson from Social Circle. And wasting no time in a no dilly, no dally zone. That is where we are. We go to Dalton and catch up with Matt Cheaves. So, Matt, thanks for hanging out with us on the party line here as we get ready for a quarterfinals Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Glad I could catch up with you today.
No doubt about it. When you look back at this season, what are some of the things that have stood out to you? I know that expectation for you is always high. We've had you on air at SDH a couple times. When you look back at this season and you're getting ready for this matchup on our air against McIntosh tomorrow, what has stood out to you this year?
I don't know. This has been a very competitive year. Most games, any team could win on any given day. McIntosh has really been a step ahead of everybody, I think. But other than that, it seems to me that the playing field is extremely even. So therefore, I think we have a big task tomorrow. But, we're up for the challenge and look forward for the opportunity to get to play them in the quarterfinals. And so I think it's kind of unfortunate we meet so early in the playoffs. But, if you want to be the champion in the end, you have to beat the next guy in front of you. And so, that's what we're expected to do.
Quoting one of the great orators of this era, to be the man, you've got to beat the man, and you've got to do that down in Peachtree City coming up in short order. 15-4-1, 4-1 in region. You were top 25 in Georgia right now, and like I said, I know expectations for you are always very, very high. How do you think your schedule, and what I like to do is break up the schedule into thirds. Season number one being that non-region schedule, where everybody wants to sit there and it's like, yeah, I want to try to, knock off the big guy and, battery on the shoulder, the whole thing. I dare you to knock it off. How did your first season, non-region, get you ready for second season, region, and get you ready for third season, which is where we are right now?
Oh, gosh, I'm really not sure exactly how to answer that. We had to make a lot of changes along the way. Different games, we were missing key people, whether like out on the red card or out with injuries. We just made a lot of changes. So I guess that's what helped us get ready for the next season, was that we had to adapt and constantly rearrange our lineup and find out what was working best on different times. So I guess that's what got us ready for the next season.
So when it comes to this lineup, for those that haven't had the chance to see the Catamounts play up to this point of the season, shine a light on the roster for me. And for folks who haven't had the chance to see you, what should folks expect when it comes to this matchup tomorrow?
I think you should expect a really fast-paced game. Our lineup, depending on who is healthy, should stay pretty similar. We sometimes have to switch our wings to back or back to a wing, or our striker to a midfielder. But I think everybody should be ready to go where we want them to play. So that's a big plus. But then other than that, I think it's going to be a really fast-paced, exciting game. You're going to see, two teams with a lot of skill and a lot of athletic ability going at it.
Is that the kind of thing that you want? Do you want a fast-paced game, or is it pretty much opponent-dependent on how you want to dictate tempo in a match?
I'd say it's more opponent-dependent. But I just think the nature of a lot of matchups, they just turn out to be really fast-paced. And this one, I see it going that way.
I will fully admit that required reading for a lot of our audience should be the Joe Drape piece that he did on your program and on you and what you have done to make Dalton what it is. What has it been like for you to build this program this way and have it be as successful as it is, not just on the field with the championships and the wins and everything, but off the field in the community and as a drawing card? What's it been like for you to build this to where it is?
Well, I'm very proud of that. It's, I came into this with a passion for soccer, didn't expect to win the amount that we've won here, but to see the game grow in our area, beyond Dalton High School, all the other area schools, our community soccer is really a big deal. And, we've taken on the name Soccer Town USA. I'm just really, really proud to see that. And so many of the guys I coached 30 years ago and 20 years ago, they're coaching now, even at other local schools, and they're coaching their kids. kids are coming through school now. It's something I'm really proud to see, and to have watched the sport grow. That was something I always wanted, was to see soccer grow. I was kind of disappointed as a younger man that soccer wasn't as big as some of the other sports. And I saw no reason in high school why it shouldn't be, especially if we can start putting people in the seats, making money, bringing in money for the athletic department. And it can really be a big thing. And I think you're going to see that in the next 10 years. Just at almost every school, it's going to be a major contributor to the athletic budget.
No doubt about it. Looking forward to it. So, Matt, thanks for parachuting in. I know that you're heading back into, hopefully having some time to yourself, maybe getting some lunch or something like that. But looking forward to calling the match tomorrow down at McIntosh, Dalton McIntosh. Matt Cheaves, one of the true statesmen of the sport here, not just in the state of Georgia or the Southeast, but here when it comes to high school soccer all around the country. Matt, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, John. I appreciate what you do.
All right. That's Matt Cheaves. Matt's going to go get lunch. I hope he is. Take some time to yourself, a little quiet time. And it's great to catch up with Coach Richardson, find out what's going on at Social Circle. That's what I'm looking for here. Next couple of days, today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. Coaches just pop in. We talk for a couple of minutes, and we're off and running. That's what I'm looking for. So it's great to catch up with Coach Richardson, great to catch up with Coach Cheaves, and that's how it's going to be here between now and 1 o'clock. So soccer's in session, live, presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you. All right, so let's get back into Friday and what happened Friday to get us ready for where we are right now. Friday, it was 2A, 4A, and 6A boys. 2A, 4A, and 6A boys. Those were the last matchups on the board to get us ready for where we are. AA boys. Fitzgerald continues to impress on the boys and the girls side. They were the number 2 team in Region 1 on the boys side. They are the number 1 team out of Region 1 on the girls side. And we've got the bat signal out to the Purple Hurricane as well. Fitzgerald wins easily in round 1. Then they beat Spencer at Spencer, knocking off the number 1 seed out of Region 2, which meant that with that 4-3 win, they now get Fellowship Christian tomorrow, upper left in AA. So Fellowship Christian, who went to Blue Ridge, knocked off Fannin County by the final of 5-1. Fellowship Christian beats Landmark in round 1 in a 1-4. Then they go to Fannin County and win against the 3 seed. So Fannin County and the Rebels end up making it into round number 2. Fellowship Christian advances. So Fellowship Christian has to travel, pack a lunch and a dinner trip from suburban Roswell to go all the way down to Ben Hill County and go down to exit 80, I believe, the Ashburn exit. Turn left, work your way around the corner, and you're at JC Stadium in Fitzgerald. Actually, you might be on the new campus. That's another question I've got to have for Tucker Pruitt. But Fellowship Christian is at Fitzgerald in AA boys, upper left-hand corner. Low right is heading to Lyons. Toombs County, the top seed out of Region 3, no problem with Kendrick in round 1, no problem with Berrien in round 2. They will host Drew Charter. Drew Charter, the 3-team out of Region 6. They knock off Gordon Central in round number 1 on the road. Then they go to East Jackson and win at East Jackson, the top seed out of Region 8. So Drew Charter, as a 3 seed, comes through in AA, and they will take on Toombs County. So Drew Charter is at Toombs County in the left-hand side of the bracket. The winners of those two will face each other on May 3rd. Right-hand side, Model, top seed out of Region 7. No problems, Region 1. 1-0 winners against Union County. So a great season for Union County comes to a close at Model. So Model will host Pierce. Pierce, the number 2 seed out of Region 3. Pierce County went to Putnam, 1-2-1 in Eatonton, so they advance. Pierce County had beaten Jordan 5-1 in round 1, beats Putnam County 2-1 in round 2. Pierce County is at Model, upper left, in AA boys. Also, low right, our friends from Jeff Davis, and we're going to be catching up with Coach Lawson batting leadoff tomorrow on a match day because they are at home in the Pinelands, and I'm going to show the video from the matchup that I think he shot. I legitimately think he shot it from the sidelines, and he showed it to me. It also popped up on their social media, but what it does is it showed you what we had talked about the entire time. We knew that the environment there in the Pinelands was going to be something that was going to be absolutely amazing, and it did not disappoint. And it was a packed house in the Pinelands for that matchup with Appling and with Jeff Davis. And so sure enough, not disappointing. It was a packed house, and it was an absolute thriller. It went the extra 20 minutes before Jeff Davis came up with the win. Final score, 5-4. Jeff Davis, no problems with Butler in round one. Appling County comes 4-4 after 80 minutes. Then they scored late in the second overtime to make it 5-4. That was the final. Packed house in the Pinelands, and it was absolutely cool to see that environment. Providence Christian played at the Walker School 3-3 after 100 minutes. They go to PKs. Providence Christian won in PKs 4-1. So Providence Christian goes to Jeff Davis, and that will set things up in AA boys. Quad A boys, LaGrange beat Southeast Bullock 7-2 at home. So LaGrange advances, and they have to travel to Tunnel Hill to take on Northwest Whitfield. They beat Cedar Shoals at Northwest Whitfield by the final of 4-1. So LaGrange travels as the number 3 seed out of Region 4, and they will travel tomorrow to take on Northwest Whitfield. Northwest Whitfield, the number 3 team out of Region 7. Remember, like seeds go to the bottom of the bracket. Also, Whitewater and Johnson Gainesville. Whitewater, the 2 team out of Region 4, beat Islands 5-1 on the coast. They travel to the Dungeon. Johnson Gainesville shuts out Druid Hills 3-0. That's the left-hand side of the bracket in Quad A. Holy Innocents, 3-2 winners at East Forsyth. And so Holy Innocents advances. They travel to Stars Mill to take on Stars Mill, who shut out Benedictine 4-0. Holy Innocents is at Stars Mill. Westminster travels to Bainbridge. Westminster shut out Lovett 2-0 in the Battle of West Paces Ferry at Fritz Orr Field. They will travel to Bainbridge. Bainbridge beat Wayne County by the final of 5-2. So that was the elements that were there in Quad A, and so that's where we are with Quad A matchups. Once again, this is all a part of what's going on tomorrow. 6A boys was the last grouping that was playing last Friday. Upper left, Glen Academy in a shootout beat St. Pius 5-4. So Glen Academy advances. They host Lassiter, who is coming through as a 3 seed. So Lassiter gets to travel to the coast and take on the Red Terrors at Glen County Memorial Stadium. So Lassiter and Glen Academy. Lassiter beat South Paulding by the final of 2-0. Marist and Woodward Academy down by Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. The War Eagles win that one. Woodward does. Woodward wins it 3-1. They will host Sprayberry, who went to Mount Airy. Sprayberry went to Mount Airy and won 4-1 over Habersham Central. That's the left-hand side in 6A. Right-hand side, Johns Creek shut out North Forsyth by the final of 4-0 at home. They will travel to North Atlanta to take on North Atlanta. North Atlanta shut out Grovetown 5-0. Low right, River Ridge and Riverwood. River Ridge put 5 on the board, beat Gainesville 5-1. They will host Riverwood, the 4 seed out of Region 4. They had to go to Guyton to take on South Effingham, 1-3-0. So Riverwood, we've had them on the SDH network before, and they are going to go to River Ridge, and that sets up the 2A, the 4A, and the 6A boys, and how that's going to lay itself out. So really looking forward to all of those matchups in 2A, 4A, 6A boys as they work their way through. We're going to go through all of the other elements that were there, and we're going to catch you up on everything that's going on with all of the other matchups, get you ready on the girls' side. And so we will we'll let you know what's going on. I'm trying to download the there it is. Okay, so it does exist. So that's a good thing. So it does exist. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to test my own metal here and see how this looks. And I'm going to see, like I said, we're going to try and do some TV magic here and see if this will work. This was the video that was sent by Coach Lawson after the match was over And it was really, really cool to see this. And so I'm trying to see all of the videos. No. That is not how this works. That is not how this works. I'm not looking for, just go back. Keep going. No, that is not what I want. That is absolutely not what I want. That is not what I want at anything whatsoever. All right, so there we go. No name, open. So it's got to be converted to an MP4. Okay, well, so much for that idea. I will convert this to an MP4, and we'll show it tomorrow. We'll see if we can show it tomorrow with Coach Lawson. All right, so wrong format. That's on me. Okay, so let's get into the girls' matchups here today that are going to be across the board, and unless there is a matchup that got shifted for one reason or another. We caught up with Coach Richardson from Social Circle. Remember, that matchup has now been moved to tomorrow. East Lawrence visiting Social Circle. Also, on the left-hand side, Metter is hosting Mount Vernon. Metter had to go to PKs to beat Temple. 1-1 after 100, 3-2 in the PKs. Mount Vernon beat Tallulah Falls 2-1. Mount Vernon and Metter. Atlanta International beat Rabun County in Tiger. So Atlanta International travels to Barnesville to take on Lamar County, and Lamar County beat Bryan by the final of 2-0. Low-right Paideia shut out Oglethorpe County. They host Bleckley County, who shut out Bacon County. So Bleckley to Paideia, that is what is up in Class A D1. Class A D2. Aquinas beat Mount Zion Carroll in Augusta. Portal, no problem with GMC. Aquinas travels to Portal in Class A D2 girls. Also, Towns County shut out Christian Heritage 5-0. So it is Towns County traveling to Hawkinsville. Hawkinsville beat Eccles County. Eccles County's been making a good run on the boys and the girls side. Eccles County on the boys' side travels to Christian Heritage tomorrow. I think, frankly, they're leaving in probably in the next hour or so. So Hawkinsville hosting Towns County. That's the left-hand side, Class A D2. Wheeler County shuts out Dooley 4-0. Lake Oconee Academy did the same to Lincoln County. So it is Wheeler County at Lake Oconee Academy. That is today. Also, Johnson County shut out Atco 1-0. Atlanta Classical beat Chatco 5-0. So Johnson County travels from Wrightsville up here to the city of Atlanta to take on Atlanta Classical. That's single A. Double A. Ace Charter over Worth County 3-0 at home. So that means they travel to Landmark Christian, who beat Walker by the same score. Low left, Pierce County, no problem with Dodge. They travel to Fellowship Christian, who had no problem with Fannin County. Pierce County at Fellowship Christian, left-hand side double A. Model beat Athens Academy in double A girls 1-0. Model hosts Savannah Arts, who had no problems with Jeff Davis. Low right, Mount Perrin Christian beat East Jackson 2-0. Toombs County went into Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald won that one by the final of 5-1. So Fitzgerald will play Mount Perrin Christian today. That's double A. Triple A, upper left, it is Pike County beat Harlem 3-0. They will host in Zebulon Dawson County, who beat Stevens County by the final of 6-1. That's upper left, triple A. Also on the board, Savannah Country Day had to go to PKs before beating Morgan County 2-2 after 100 minutes, 3-2 in the PKs. Savannah Country Day travels to Watkinsville to take on Oconee County, and Oconee County beat Lumpkin by the final of 4-0. Upper right, Wesleyan. We know about their prolific offense. We saw it, and you had it here on the SDH Network against Calhoun during the tail end of spring break. It was Wesleyan over Hebron Christian. They host St. Vincent's, who went to ARC and won in Augusta. Low right, Bremen over Monroe area, and they will travel to Columbus. Columbus 1-0 winners over Mary Persons at home in Columbus. So that is AAA. Quad A girls, Perry over Trinity Christian. That matchup we had Thursday on the SDH Network, and it was great to be down there to catch up with our friends in Perry. Perry travels to Lovett today, and it is Holy Innocents and Lovett. Lovett won that one 5-2. That's how Lovett gets to host Perry later today. Also, low left, Whitewater over Islands 4-1. They travel to Cherokee Bluff. Cherokee Bluff shut out Southeast Whitfield 2-0. That's the left-hand side of your bracket in Quad A girls. North Oconee travels to Stars Mill. We had John Bowen on the show yesterday. North Oconee 2-0 winners at Northwest Whitfield, and Stars Mill no problem with Southeast Bullock. So North Oconee travels to Stars Mill. Westminster hosts LaGrange. Westminster had to go to PKs to beat Pace Academy. Goalless after 100 minutes, 3-2 in the PKs. Westminster at Fritz Orr Field will play LaGrange, who had no problem with Wayne County. 5A girls. It is Northside Columbus, and we're trying to track down their coach as well. And she is chasing, hopefully, I think she is tracking down her players' meals for lunch right now. So she is trying to leave school, get her players, have them stay as strong as possible. I think she was tracking down the meals today. If she can join either today or if Northside Columbus beats GAC, join tomorrow. That's the other thing that we'll do is we'll also try and grab winners from today, see if they want to hop back in tomorrow. GAC beat Midtown 2-1 at Midtown. So Northside Columbus is a 4 seed. Wins in the first round 1-0 at Dutchtown. Wins 4-1 in round number 2 at Tucker. Northside Columbus comes through as a 4 seed. Upper left, Quad A and 5A, and they'll take on GAC. Low left, Northgate and Jefferson. That's on our air once again a little before 6:30. Northgate over Decatur 2-1. Jefferson beat Chattahoochee 3-2. Northgate and Jefferson low left in 5A. Upper left, Loganville 2-1 winners at home against Northview. They travel to McIntosh. McIntosh shut out Chambly by the final of 1-0. Heavyweights there. The coaching Kreitner's getting the Duke 1-0. They host Loganville upper right. Cambridge shuts out Clark Central. And Greenbrier shut out Harris County. Cambridge gets to travel from up Georgia 400 now, Alpharetta, all the way out to Greenbrier near Augusta. So that is low right in 5A. 6A girls. It is St. Pius who shut out Glen Academy 4-0 on the coast as a part of the boys and girls doubleheader. Lassiter over Alexander by the final of 4-1. St. Pius is at Lassiter. North Atlanta over Woodward Academy 7-1. North Atlanta visits Roswell, who beat Hab Central in Mount Airy 3-1. Pope over Jackson County upper right 3-0. They travel to Marist, who beat Grovetown. Low right, Johns Creek, who shut out Gainesville 3-0, travels to Riverwood, the 4 seed, Region 4, number 4, 1 over Thomas County Central, 1 over Lakeside Evans, and so it is Johns Creek and Riverwood. And guess what? He's come in early. He's trying to get the SDH bump. I see how this goes. Brian Lawson from Jeff Davis. How are you, my friend?
Good. How you doing?
Well, you're the one that had the full house. You're the one that had
packed. It was packed now.
Yeah. So tell everybody about what was going on, because when you came on to let everybody know about this FUT BOL football rivalry with Appling and Jeff Davis, you said it was going to be a packed house. You sent me the video. I've got to convert it to an MP4 to show everybody the video that you sent me from the sidelines. But it was an awesome environment. Tell everybody about it.
Look now, Appling County rolled in deep. We saw them coming during warm-ups from the parking lot. They had their flags going and everything. They got up on their part of the stands. They set the flags up top, had banners, signs. They even brought a pet band with them. So it was like I was at a Club America game. It was there was some traffic trying to get into the stadium. It was an unbelievable environment. It was crazy. I've never been a part of something like that in my coaching career of all sports.
And it was a ridiculous thriller of a match too. I mean, it was completely and totally out to lunch, where it looked like, from the look of things, the last team that had possession was going to be the one to finally put the ball in the back of the net and win the thing. So 8-goal thriller, and 100 minutes didn't give you a winner.
No, we scored pretty early, in about 2 minutes into the match, and every time we got the lead, they tied it up. And as we got the lead, they tied it up. We had the lead with about 5.5 minutes left in the second half, and gave up just a mistake on our end. Gave up a goal to let them tie it, and went to OT. We with about 1 minute and 36 seconds left in the second overtime, our sophomore striker Fabian Valdelamore had a free kick and buried it in the back of the net. And rest is history, baby. On to the Elite Eight.
What's the I mean, we saw the environment right after the match, but what was the weekend like, and what has the vibe been like getting ready for this matchup in the Pinelands tomorrow?
So I met with the team Wednesday. And I talked about all of our previous players that had played here in the program and what it meant to them, and they have an opportunity to do something that those guys have never done. And I say that to say this: after the match, I've never seen as many former players there. hugging up, loving up on everybody. I've never got that many text messages after a soccer game from people, other coaches, other sports. It was crazy. And it's like I told the guys that night, I said, love and enjoy it for 24 hours, and we got to flush it and get ready. So
how difficult is that to flush it but not forget, if that makes any sense? Because you want to carry the momentum from a win like that, all of that energy from a win like that. You don't want to forget that, but you've got to forget the fact that you did win because you've got another one that is that much more important. How do you flush but not forget?
So we talked last time, we played Appleton the week after spring break, and it went into 2 region matches that really didn't matter. We had already sealed up the region championship, and so you have an emotional game with Appleton on a Monday after spring break. Close ball game the whole time. We end up losing it late, and then you have the emotion from just getting emotional drainage from the loss. And then we drop one to Cook County and then drop the Fish Trail to end the season with 3 losses. And so I brought that up right before we talked to him, like, remember how that felt, and you got to flush it, because if you don't flush it after this win, it's the same thing. Emotional high, flush just like emotional low, and you got to get ready. The most important match is the one that you play that day, because it's the only one. So that's been our message for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the most important because it's tomorrow. It's the match, and don't be thinking about nothing else.
So what has the ticket demand been like getting ready for this one? Is the buzz as insane as it was with Appling so far?
So we had our region meeting this morning for region awards. So as soon as I got to the school real quick, talked to a couple people, and everybody's talking about the match and everything. And I've been on the road. I stopped, pulled over just because I want to talk to you today.
Yep.
And but hopefully it's going to be the same. You're bringing in a school from North Georgia and Providence Christian who's really good, and hopefully they bring a crowd to be part of the environment. But it's going to be a scorcher tomorrow, so hopefully we can use that a little bit to our advantage and get it packed like we had it last week.
So you have this kind of an event coming up. What has study hall been like on the quick turn getting ready for Providence Christian?
So us coaches, my sister got married Saturday, so I was at a wedding all weekend. So I have to leave Friday night to go to rehearsal. I missed it because of the game, which is of course fine, beautiful.
Yes.
Wedding Saturday, come back Sunday. So me and the coaches have been trying to watch as much film as possible and in a text group with each other to get everything prepared. Quick little practice Sunday to talk about everything, get the game plan in, and then fine tune everything today and get turnaround for 2. It is a quick turnaround now. We've had a week in between each match up to now, and 3 days is pretty quick.
All right. Well, I will once again open the doors tomorrow. If there's anything that we forgot to talk about today, you can come in and crash tomorrow as well and update everybody on what's going on. Brian, go get some lunch or something, man.
Yeah, that's what's about to happen. We're about to go find something somewhere local in Hazelhurst. We're coming back into town, so get something in us.
All right, so get some lunch, and it is Providence Christian, Jeff Davis, going out on the boys' side tomorrow. Congratulations on the family nuptials, and go get some lunch, my friend. We'll catch up soon.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
That's Brian Lawson, head coach at Jeff Davis, and he's parachuted in. And so speaking of parachuting in, time to catch up with one of the clubs that we're going to be talking to tonight and having that on the network. And so it's time to catch up with head coach Molly McCarty for Jefferson girls. Coach, thanks for coming on the party line here on Soccer's in Session Live.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Doing all right. Thanks for letting us come and party first and foremost with the matchup tonight. What has it been like this season for the Dragons to get to this point where you are chasing after the left-hand side of the bracket to make sure that's your own?
Yeah, it's we've had our ups and downs as any team would have during the season. In the big games, John, where we really had to kind of prove ourselves, I feel like our girls have rose to that occasion. They don't back down. They don't quit. I think that's just kind of been our mojo probably for about 5 years now. We're not going to quit on it. And that's kind of what we've done. We've taken each game during the season. And, today is a winner in mentality. Luckily, we get the home field advantage, which we're not really used to here because we've always had to kind of be road warriors per se in playoffs. So I think having home field advantage tonight will definitely be a benefit.
17-0-1, 6-0 in region play. You ran the table, the number 1 seed coming out of there. I know that some polls, depending on who you look at and who you trust, have you number 10 nationally, number 5 in the state of Georgia. How do you keep your players and the program from looking at those kinds of things and focusing on what's going to be happening a little after 6:30 tonight instead of folks like me talking about, how do you keep them focused on that?
We don't focus on the number, honestly, John. I'll be honest. We don't really discuss it, not really until we get into these, deep level type playoffs. We have a target on our back. Anytime you're the 1 seed, everybody wants to beat you. They hate you because they ain't you. So they want to come in, they want to beat you. They want to see you fail, especially when it's a home field type situation like us tonight. So we sell, the underdog mentality. Honestly, until the very last game, that's when we focus on our number. It's not how you start, it's kind of how you finish it. So that's the way we keep our focus.
Staggering numbers when you look at goals for and allowed. I'm going to do some quick math here, and math has never been my strong suit. 92 goals scored. So in 18 matches, I think that's just a shade over 5 a match. And this is legitimately correct. You have only given up 4 goals all season. That is an accurate number.
Correct. 3 of those goals, I'll just go ahead and say it out there. 3 of the goals were off set pieces. A PK, a corner, actually 2 corners. So it's been a true 1 goal field of play. And that doesn't just attest to our goalkeeper, Ella Sellers, our backup keeper, only allowed 1 of those goals actually as well. So it's really a testament to what's in front of the goalkeeper as far as, being unified on the field for that not to have to be Ella's responsibility or Zoe's. So I just give true testament to what our defense has been able to accomplish, what our offense has been able to do. Our mojo for this senior class, their legacy is unity. And I truly feel that that's why those numbers look like they do.
That's insane. I mean, as someone who is looking at these numbers, the mere 92-4, that is a plus 88 in goal difference. That is insane to me.
Right. And honestly, I've never had a team that's been able to put that kind of stat out there, but I think that there's other teams, look at Buford, look at, we went 0-0 with Buford. We were the first game that they didn't score a game. Their first shutout of the season with us. Of course, it was a draw. It was 0-0. Our team played amazing in that game as well. But every game is a game. We treat it as a game. We respect our opponent. We don't, try to outdo ourselves. We try to play simple, but we have to keep a level head. And again, tonight is a winner in mentality. Someone's going to end their season tonight. Someone's going to move on. It's going to be a great game. I hate to see the bottom of our brackets. I don't know if you've already talked about this, but the bottom of the brackets and both sides are 1 seeds, and the top part of the brackets are they've beaten all the 1 seeds out. So what you're getting in the Elite 8 tonight, and then over on the other side with Cambridge and Greenbrier, I mean, you're getting like practically your state championship games. And I'm not saying that against anybody else with GAC especially, or Loganville, who's in our region. Like, that's just how tough 5A girls soccer is.
When you have this kind of hot and heavy competition, I know that Study Hall takes almost like a different kind of a mentality here in season 3, as I call it. I always like to say that season 1 is your non-region, season 2 is your region, season 3 is the playoffs, and you're hoping to be in the last match of the year.
Right.
What has Study Hall been like as you go up against a club that is 16-2-2 here in the bottom half of this crazy 5A bracket?
Well, we definitely, we kind of have our presentations lined up based off of, where we go within the bracket. I have a collection of people that help us kind of present what each team looks like. It's not just me, John. I got to give credit to our coaching staff. I've got people outside of the coaching staff that help us. But what we've done is we've prepared these girls for girls that are going to be stronger, that are going to be taller and bigger than us. With that kind of mentality, it's play our game. we still focus on our game, but hey, this is what this other team's going to bring to us. This is what we've scouted. And, you know, just with that mentality, our main focus is our game.
The one blemish, and it's almost a half blemish considering that it's the draw to Buford. What did you learn about yourself in that draw? Because traditionally I will ask coaches, what did you learn about yourself, successful clubs? What do you learn about yourself in a losing situation? You haven't had that happen to you this year. So then what did you learn about yourself in that draw to Buford that has helped you coming forward here deep in this playoff run?
Well, we're thankful we got to play him the latter part of the season. We actually were supposed to play him at the beginning of March, but Coach Hill came up with the idea that, hey, let's go to UGA and play. Well, what we learned is a grass field such as the one at Georgia really tested our fitness. It actually tested Buford's as well. So we have been kind of focusing a little more on the fitness aspect of the game since having that. We also came straight off spring break. So, you know, we sold it to the girls. This game is just another game in our season, but this game is going to be like the games when we run our deep run. It's going to be like an Elite Eight. It's going to be like a Final Four. That's kind of how we treated all of those top opponents the last couple of games of the season. We're not worried about the outcome of it. What we're worried about is what we're going to do during it and how we learn from it and move on. I learned a lot. I mean, we went up against, you know, juniors and seniors committed to D1 soccer programs in that Buford game. We're predominantly freshmen and sophomores, and they held their own. And that right there showed us our strength, but it also showed us that maybe our mentality has got to mature a little bit more to be able to handle, you know, the last 10 minutes of a game when you're in a 0-0 draw. Hey, here's some decisions we made, but these are decisions we've got to do better making as far as when we get into that game that's going to be a win-or-end mentality.
Molly McCarty, head coach at Jefferson, hanging out with us for another couple of minutes here on Soccer's in Session live on Quarterfinals Monday as they get ready for their matchup against Northgate later on the SDH Network. 6:30 kick will be on a little before 6:30 kick to give you a pregame and get you set up for the rest of Quarterfinals Monday. For someone who has not seen your team play, when things are going well, offensively, defensively, aspects of the match, how would you best describe how things are going when things are going well for Jefferson soccer? How would you describe it?
Well, for one, you know, the girls, you can just feel you can just feel the unity when it's really gelling, like their body language, their just overall team play. Our bench, we sell it to the girls that are, you know, on the sideline. Hey, you're just as important as the girls on the field. You're the ones that are picking these girls up. If they make a mistake, encourage them. So it is definitely a team effort. But if you're going to walk up to us, you're going to see us moving the ball quickly, you know, not trying to be the superstar, not trying to be the one that feels like they have to win the game. We've had multiple games this season where we've had someone who's had their moment. And so, you know, when that person has their moment, the whole team celebrates it. But if you were to come up to us and we're not our best and probably exposing our weakness, we may not be as loud, but that's what we've had to sell to all the girls is that's when we need you. It doesn't need to be a drop your shoulders, you know, drop your head. We just got to keep pushing through.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for crashing. If you get into any kind of trouble there, just blame me and say that I had to do this appearance because we're on the SDH Network tonight. I had to do it during the noon hour.
There you go. No problem. And we appreciate it. Hey, we got some food for you too, waiting for you.
Love it. Jason, Maddie, and I will be up there in a couple hours. Looking forward to doing the broadcast tonight and seeing everything up there in Jefferson. Like I said, thanks for rolling out the carpet for us. We will see you later. Looking forward to this match with Northgate.
All right. We'll see you tonight. Thanks, guys.
There we go. That's Coach. And so that's the coach, Molly McCarty, head coach of Jefferson. Once again, tonight, a little before 6:30, Jefferson 17-0-1. Top 10 nationally, top 5 in the state of Georgia, taking on Northgate at 16-2-2. Low left, 5A, girls bracket. Crazy. But because of how things are with the rotation, you end up with times where the semifinals or even the quarterfinals are those matchups that you could sit there and say this legitimately could be a championship match. And because of the rotation of the regions, That's where we are this year. And Coach mentioned it with what is looking like in 5A. Once again, just to go over 5A really quickly. Northside Columbus is a 4 seed. They've won twice. They go to GAC tonight. GAC, they beat Midtown 2-1. They were the number 2 team out of Region 6. Midtown, the top team out of Region 5. Low left is our matchup. Northgate beating Decatur 2-1 to advance to go to Jefferson. Jefferson beat Chattahoochee 3-2. No problems with Tri-City in round number 1. Right-hand side of the bracket. Coach mentioned Loganville. Loganville out of Region 8, the number 2 team in Region 8. They got some home matches. 3-0 over Jackson, Atlanta, 2-1 over Northview. Loganville to McIntosh tonight in the coaching Kreitners. We caught up with Luke a couple days ago about getting ready for this particular matchup. McIntosh, shutout Union Grove, shutout Chamblee. They host Loganville upper right. Low right, Cambridge, the top team out of Region 6, goes to Greenbrier, top team out of Region 1. Greenbrier has scored 19 goals in their first 2 matches. Cambridge has scored 13. Neither team has given up a goal. So that's where we are. Right-hand side, 5A, insanity in the Class 5A girls bracket because of the rotation. And you get a different kind of insanity because of Northside Columbus being a 4 seed winning twice. So that's where we are with this particular classification. Craziness tonight. 3 fantastic matchups. Because of the rotation, this is how it's all ended up. 6A girls, once again, catching you back up with 6A and 7A with Coach McCarty before Coach McCarty's visit. St. Pius went on the road to beat Glen Academy in Brunswick by the final of 4-0. They traveled to Lassiter. St. Pius was a 3 seed out of Region 4. Lassiter, 4-1 winner over River Ridge, 4-1 winner over Alexander, both of those on the road. Lassiter hosts at the Frank, and they host St. Pius. North Atlanta, 7-1 winners over Woodward Academy. They advanced. They traveled to Ray Manis Stadium to take on Roswell. Roswell went to Mount Airy to beat Habersham Central 3-1. North Atlanta is at Roswell. Pope, 3-0 winners over Jackson County. They travel to Marist and Hughes Spalding Stadium. Pope and Marist, upper right, 6A. Low right, 6A, Johns Creek over Gainesville, 3-0 at Bobby Gruen Field at City Park. Riverwood, as another 4 seed, comes through twice. Shuts out Thomas County Central, shuts out Lakeside Evans. 4 seed, Region 4, they advance. They will host Johns Creek because they're both 4 seeds. 6A girls. 7A girls. Upper left, Campbell went Lowndes came on the 24th. Campbell won 7-2. Walton, 3-0 winners in Raider Valley over Denmark. Campbell travels to Walton. Once again, like seeds, bottom of the bracket. Hillgrove, 5-0 winners over Camden County. Traveling to Buford. Buford, the top team out of Region 8. Hillgrove, no problems with Pebblebrook in the rain and lightning lengthened match up at Hillgrove in round number 1. Camden County travels from Kingsland, and they lose 5-0. Hillgrove to Buford. Buford, no problems with Wheeler, beat Milton 1-0. Upper right, North Gwinnett is hosting Harrison. North Gwinnett, the region champ out of Region 7. 2-1 winners over Mill Creek. That was on our air last Tuesday night. Harrison, 3-1 winners at Brookwood, the Dave Hunter Athletic Complex in Brookwood Community Stadium. So Harrison, 1 loss all year, cost them the region title. And that is why they are traveling to North Gwinnett. Hillgrove beat Harrison. That was the difference. So Harrison to North Gwinnett, upper right. Ryan Burkhart knows he's got his hands full. Low right, West Forsyth, 6-2 winners over Mountain View. They host North Paulding. North Paulding is a 3 seed, knocking off East Coweta round 1, traveling to the coast to beat Richmond Hill 2-0 in round number 2. North Paulding is at West Forsyth. So that's where we are with the girls. Let's check the start times to see if there's anything that's off the rails when it comes to start times here in the state of Georgia, because sometimes you will get weird ones. Pierce County Fellowship Christian, that one is listed as a 4 p.m. start. So it's an early one on the girls' side. 4 p.m. start for Pierce County and Fellowship Christian. That one is in Roswell, basically suburban Atlanta, up 400. So Pierce County traveling from Blackshear, 4 o'clock start with Pierce County and Fellowship Christian. You still have North Carolina crossovers with some schools that are in the Northeast Georgia Mountains, North Carolina playoffs in private schools. You still have GICAA. You still have GIAA playoffs going on here in the state of Georgia. You have Mount Perrin Christian and Fitzgerald. That one is a 5:30 start. Same for Bleckley County and Paideia. Savannah Arts Academy, Model, 5:30. Dawson and Pike is 5:30. North Oconee Stars Mill is at 5:30. 6 o'clock starts. Cambridge and Greenbrier, North Atlanta and Roswell, Riverwood and Johns Creek, North Paulding and West Forsyth. 6:30. Whitewater, Cherokee Bluff, Pope and Marist, Loganville and McIntosh, Northside, Columbus and GAC, and also our matchup, Northgate and Jefferson. That is also a 6:30. 7 o'clock starts, Harrison, North Gwinnett, and Bremen and Columbus. Still looking for start times with Perry and Lovett. Let's see if we can find those. And so we'll see if we can end up with a start time. Okay, so that's a 2020 posting. I don't think that's going to... So let's see if Lovett Soccer can give us a start time. And we'll see. So right now, the ones that do not have start times, according to our friends at Max Preps, even though they do, they're just not posted. Lovett and Perry, Buford and Hillgrove, Towns County, Hawkinsville, St. Vincent's and Wesleyan, Lamar County, Bryan County, Oconee County, Savannah Country Day, Campbell and Walton, Westminster and LaGrange, Mount Vernon and Metter, and Lassiter and St. Pius. Those are the ones that do not have posted start times on campus, at least through social media yet. And so that's what we'll do here for the remaining couple of minutes. We'll try and fill in some of the blanks when it comes to start times. So if you are looking for particular start times for a particular matchup, and thanks to everybody who's hanging out with us today. So it was great to have all the coaches come in and parachute in and have a fantastic time. I mean, we need the athletics calendar. So I was at the Lovett School and had the other calendars. 5 o'clock. Perry and Lovett is 5 o'clock on campus at Perry. So 5 o'clock start with the Perry Panthers and the Lovett Lions. That one is a 5 o'clock start later this afternoon. So we'll see how many more we can get here in 2 minutes. All right. So anybody wants to, let's see. So Buford and Hillgrove. Let's see if Buford Soccer has a posted start time. Lady Wolves Soccer. And Hillgrove is 6:30. So Hillgrove and Buford, 6:30 in Elite 8. And so that one is taken care of. So let's see if we can go one more. Towns County and Hawkinsville. Actually, yeah, so let's go Towns County and Hawkinsville. Let's see if we can come up with one there. Towns County. Actually, so I'll tell you what, since I think it's at Hawkinsville. So let's do this. Let's go to Hawkinsville High School and see if the school website has a start time. Sometimes they do, and sometimes the calendar does get adjusted to see what's going on. Okay, calendar, Hawkinsville High School, April 29, sliding down, 5:30. Hawkinsville hosting Towns County, 5:30 start, because Towns County's got to travel from Hiawassee, I think. So you're still getting some 5:30s, you're getting some 6:30s, but travel, Perry and Lovett is a 5 o'clock kick. Northgate and Jefferson is a 6:30. Buford and Hillgrove is a 6:30. Towns County and Hawkinsville is a 5:30. So that still leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that we are still chasing start times for when it comes to the action on Quarterfinals Monday. All the girls matchups, quarterfinals today. One more time, just to let you know. A little before 6:30, Northgate and Jefferson on our air, soccerdownhere.mixler.com. You can also go on the Mixler app, and you can listen to us there. Thanks to Coach McCarty for parachuting in and letting everybody know what's going on up there at Jefferson. Insane numbers for Jefferson this season. So great to catch up with her. Great to catch up with Coach Lawson at Jeff Davis. Great to catch up with the head coach at Social Circle. Great to catch up with Matt Cheaves at Dalton. That's what we're trying to do here with the party line. So party line will be open again tomorrow at noon, and we'll go through everything again. Quarterfinals Tuesday. We'll know semifinals for the girls, but we'll get you ready for semifinals for the quarterfinals for the boys coming up 1 o'clock. So once again, a little before 6:30, we come on the air. Maddie Cruz will be the host. Jason will have the call. I'll be at the update desk. And that's how we'll get you through quarterfinals Monday. On the girls' side, fantastic matchup on the SDH Network. Northgate traveling to Jefferson, and it's going to be cool. So thanks to all the coaches. Thanks to all you folks for hanging out with us. And once again, quarterfinals Monday. Looking forward to all the action today. For everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Thanks for hanging out with us for another go-round of Soccer's in Session Live presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Since it is the end of the show, Mucho Platial, we'll be there in Jefferson a little before 6:30. We'll be there beforehand, but on the air a little before 6:30. Catch up with you 5.5 hours. See you then. Mucho Platial. Play it safe. Bye.